This is Matt Russell, and welcome to the Daily FX Forum.
So here are the 5 pairs that I will be discussing this evening: the Euro Pound, the Aussie Kiwi, the Pound Swiss, the Euro Swiss, as well as the Euro Aussie. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts. The first chart is the Euro Pound. If you recall, during the past several reports, I've been using this thick white resistance line as well as this horizontal support line near the 88.40 area. I did add this tentatively, this light blue line as well, and we can see that prices are adhering to that line right now. So I do like a trade right here on the short side. This would be for more aggressive traders. Right now, prices at 90.05. I would require an entry at 90.15 short, with a stop at 90.30, which would be just above the high of the previous candle. So again, that would be short at 90.15 with a stop at 90.30 again for aggressive traders. The next chart is the Aussie Kiwi, and not much has changed here. I was on the sidelines for a little bit. I like this trade here also on the short side. It just looks like a reversal pattern here. It could be a potential evening star reversal pattern, but again, we obviously need the third candle on the right here to fully form. So again, I'm going to require a better entry here. The high of this candle is 25.96, and prices would have to exceed that to negate this analysis. So I would look for an entry short 25.50 with a stop at the figure at 126 even. So again, that would be short 125.50 with a stop at 126 even. The next chart is the Pound Swiss, and if you recall, during the past several reports I was using this light blue channel line on the bottom. We can see the prices actually did come down and touch the line, or actually exceeded the line and then closed back above it, which is exactly what you want to see. So this has kind of been confirmed, at least in the short term. So I do like trades on the long side here, using the low of that candle with the long wick as a reference point. So the low of that candle is 63.14, so I would go ahead and enter right now 63.70. Call it long 63.70 with a stop at 163.10. Again, that would be long 163.70 with a stop at 163.10. That would mean prices do exceed the low of this wick right here. The next chart is the Euro Swiss, and not much has really changed here. I do like the doji formation on the shorter term here, and this is a true doji. There were a few dojis before this. This one actually drafted, but this one I do like, and the low of this candle 147.22, and right now price is about 147.46. So we want to place our stop just beneath the low of the doji, which would be let's call it just below 147.20 would be where our stop is, and we can enter right now at 147.46. So that would be long 147.46 with a stop at 147.20. The last chart is the Euro Aussie, and not much has really changed here. Again, I was still just looking for candlestick confirmation of a possible bottom. We do have a borderline. You can call that a bullish engulfing candle, but I'm just going to stay on the sidelines here. This trend was rather strong, and look for maybe a double bottom or something like that with also confirming candlestick patterns. Again, my name is Matt Russell. Thanks for listening, and please stay tuned for a preview of the Daily FX Forums. I want to take this opportunity to formally welcome you all to the Daily FX Forums. I want to go through the process of how I personally access the forums, and how maybe you at home, if you want to access the forums in the future, might do so. The first thing you would do is go to www.dailyfx.com, and that will bring up, obviously, dailyfx.com, and usually there on the upper right hand corner I'll go ahead and click on where it says forum, and that will bring up the first page of the forums. And this view, I personally don't use this view, but this view actually shows you the most recent posts on all the threads within the different sections, and a little detail about those posts, so you can read through and see if there's something catches your interest. But personally, I go ahead and just click on forums and view them in the more traditional sense. Now, these are different threads within the forum. There's a section on education, such as Daily FX course instructor tips, which would be good for newer traders, and then for more advanced traders. And I just want to go ahead, personally, the way I use the forums is I would go through the individual threads, just looking for trade ideas, maybe looking at charts, looking at certain lines that maybe I didn't put up on my chart, but another trader might have put up on their chart. I I tend to, shy away from using direct trade recommendations from other forum members, but it helps me to sort of even out my analysis, make sure that I'm seeing things with the right mind in terms of I might be missing stuff that other traders can see, and that's my personal way of using the forum. Every trader is going to be a little bit different in how they use it. So if you want to ask questions, if you want to become an active participant of the members, you would have to go ahead and register. So that's what I'm going to go through now, is the registration process. So assuming you're brand new to the forums, or maybe you've been here a few times and you're not really sure how it works, so I just want to walk through again the registration process. This would be the front page where you would access, or the previous page. You'd have the same little box here on the left hand side. My username and password are already filled out here, but assuming you're a new member, you would click on where it says register, and that will bring up the registration page. If you give me one moment here while my browser loads. And actually first we're going to have some terms of service and DailyFX forum rules. I do suggest reading through the forum rules. Obviously, profanity and spam and things like that are not allowed, but it also gives you insight on how to use the forum and how different traders can use it, in terms of their individual needs. So you would go down to the bottom there. You'd click on where it says I have read all the rules, and then you would go ahead to the register, the formal registration page, and that will bring up here. And you can go ahead and select the username, and how about we'll use 4x, and that name is already in use, so maybe add a few more x's there. Again, it really, your individual username is up to you, and you go ahead and fill in your password, your email address. Now, the most difficult aspect of registration for the DailyFX forums will be figuring out these letters in the box here. Now, I'm a semi-intelligent person, but I have a very difficult time figuring out which letters and numbers to use. Now, there is a reason for this madness. It helps with security, but I would suggest just going ahead and keep on clicking that refresh image until something comes through that you can actually identify and see. Then you can go ahead and enter your birthday, but you can decide whether or not to display that to other forum members. And then also, if you were referred by somebody, you can enter that information there. The time zone, that should default to your computer, but you should double check and make sure. And then you can opt in, and I would suggest opting in for these emails in terms if the administrators want to go ahead and send you some notices about the forum, and then you would complete registration. Now what happens is they would send you an email to the email address that you put up here, and that email will include a link, and all you would have to do is go ahead and click on that link, and that link will bring you inside the forum, and you would now be a member of the DailyFX forums. Again, this is Matt Russell. Thanks for listening.